So it's finished at the City Ground, Nottingham Forest 0, Arsenal 0. And I'm here to make the argument that it's not the end of the world, right? City, earlier today, dropped points. So, yeah, Aston Villa are still playing tomorrow. But as it stands, it is still 7 points clear, which is a point gained, I think. You know, maybe if we had taken the lead and lost the game that way, taken a lead and then not gone on to win, and yeah, 2 points drop. But for me, I think, yeah, it's a point gained, and I don't think it's the end of the world because we now go 7 points clear, which I think is a lead that is much more comfortable than 6. And I'm not going to completely write Aston Villa off. I think they're a good team. However, I do think that they are overperforming their expectations, and eventually they will start to I don't want to say fall off. I don't think it will be quite as dramatic as that, but I do think they'll start to slow down. There you go, that's better words. I still think they'll be playing in the Champions League next season, though. But as for Arsenal, I think individually as a performance today, it was pretty boring. From what I've heard anyway. As I said, I'm here to make the argument that it's not the end of the world. I didn't tune into the game. I was busy. And yeah, it's a shame that we couldn't take the victory. But look, from what I heard today, we were boring. Yeah. The way I look at it, as I said, a draw. It's not the end of the world. It's a bit disappointing that it's 2 draws in a row in the Premier League. I think it might be 3, actually. No, it's definitely it is 2. It is 2. And look, Manchester City, they've not been winning their games, so we've been increasing our lead on them. That's the way I see it, right? So yeah, I really don't think it's the end of the world. I'm starting to repeat myself now. That's the thing. When you don't watch the game, that's why I don't really do reviews on the games I don't watch. I'm kind of just here to talk about the rest of the league. It's look, we're still top. Villa, yeah, they're cool. They've got a game in hand on us, and I do expect them to win tomorrow against Everton. But in terms of Manchester City, I think we'll finish higher than Aston Villa. We're 7. We're 7 points ahead of them. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. It's just a quick one today, really. Yeah, it's the January transfer window now, as Pep Guardiola and Manchester City are demonstrating, as they're showing us. Gone and signed 2 of the best players in the Premier League for their positions in one window for under £100 million. However, don't know if you've heard about Mark Gahey's wages, £300,000 a week. I've been very vocal on this channel about wanting Mark Gahey at Arsenal. However, if it was going to take £300,000 to do that a week this January to a player that won't be starting for us, then I could see why Arsenal haven't done the deal. And I think that would have been the only way to get Mark Gahey out of Crystal Palace, is to give him the money, you know. Because I think if he hadn't received all that offer with all that money, I think he'd have stayed. And I think Oliver Glasner's comments after the game today against Sunderland were pretty telling that I don't think he is committed to the job anymore. He's already come out and said this week that he'll be leaving. Then obviously a club captain leaving as well. It's not ideal. So yeah, I don't think he's committed. And I think the question is, will he actually see out the rest of the season that he said he wanted to do? But is he actually going to do that? Or will he A, leave earlier, or B, get the sack? Let's talk about Tottenham as well. They lost today. Sorry. West Ham closing down the gap slightly to safety. Nottingham Forest obviously dropped points. West Ham won. I think it's getting close down there again. I genuinely thought at the start of the day, you know, the bottom teams, the ones who look to be in the bottom three, the ones that were in the bottom three, looked like they were going to be relegated. However, it is getting closer again. And Tottenham, what does this mean for Thomas Frank? Will he be getting the sack before Monday? Will he get the sack on Monday? Will he be sacked this week? Will he still be in the dugout in Tottenham's next match? That, me, I don't think it's a good look, right? When you're playing 17th in the league, not 18th in the league, sorry. It's a London derby, they're your local rivals, and you've brought in your new midfielder who's starting the game, who seemed pretty anomalous, non-existent. I don't think it's a good look, especially with their home record this season. It's not been great at all. So, Tottenham fans, if you're watching, do you think Thomas Frank will be in the dugout for the next game? I think it's Dortmund in the Champions League for Tottenham. As for Arsenal, we've got Inter Milan away Tuesday. I'm looking forward to the game. And yeah, I suppose that's the other thing that I want to talk about, really. Albeit the football's a little bit boring, right? But sometimes that's just how it's going to be if you want to win titles. There's this whole narrative around Arteta being boring, and yeah, look, I do agree. Sometimes he does play it safe, and you can definitely make the argument that he does go into games trying not to lose, and that's ultimately what cost us last season, in not really pushing Liverpool and not in making it difficult, not putting them under pressure. So yeah, but to me, right, if you're questioning Arteta, I said this the other day on another video, on New Year's Day. I made a video and I said the exact same thing. We're now 7 points clear as opposed to what, 4 points clear when I made that video. Yeah, we would have liked that to be a little bit bigger. I think we could have won the game today and look, you know, talking 9 points clear at Manchester City. If we score against Liverpool, even more. But I really do feel as if a 7-point gap at this stage of the season is a lot more comfortable than 6. So, look, if we had lost, it would have been a different story, right? I would have come on here and I'd have been angry. However, I think this is a draw that we can accept and go back to London and work for the next game on Tuesday, and then in the league when we play Man United, I think, at home, at the Emirates. Yeah, so let me know what you think of the football today in the comments down below. Arsenal women are back tomorrow in the Adobe Women's FA Cup against, I want to say it's Crystal Palace. I think I might be wrong. Hopefully it's Crystal Palace. Yeah, maybe I'll do some content for that. I think it's on Channel 4 in the UK, so I'll be watching the game. And yeah, let me know what you think of the football today, and I'll see you in the next video. But for now, goodbye.